Hey, casual crypto investor family, it is the casual crypto investor, and I am back with another video. In this video, we're going to be talking about a lot of rumors that are swirling right now in the crypto space in regards to XRP or Ripple and Swift. Man, oh man, I'm going to show you in a second, but this is 100% speculation. Nobody knows for certain unless, you're in the, probably what, top 1%, I guess, right? But I just in my research that I've been doing and looking at some things, there's a lot of just articles coming out talking about, well, Ripple take over Swift. Is it possible for Ripple to take over Swift? Will this happen? What would be the price? All that kind of stuff. So I came across an article that I thought did a fairly good job of kind of calling it middle, kind of down the middle, and being kind of not leaning one way or the other, but just basically stating the information. And so I'm going to share that article. We're going to go over that. This video won't be super long, but hopefully it'll be, rich in terms of content. So before we get into that, let's just take a look at the overall crypto market. We're currently down 1.37%. Let me just refresh my screen just to make sure, because this market has been going kind of up and down. So right now we're actually down 1.5%. Currently, Bitcoin has had a seesaw type of day. It's now sitting at 83,000, almost at $84,000, but it is up almost 11% over the past 7 days. Ethereum is had a good 7 day run, up 12%. So happy to see that. Ethereum is kind of chugging along there, and then XRP, look at that, up 18%, guys. I think something's happening. I don't know what. There's also a lot of speculation that the new SEC chair could potentially announce tomorrow, April 16th, that basically the lawsuit potentially could be over. So there's just so much stuff happening right now, and I'm excited for it. Again, make sure you're subscribed and locked into the channel so that way you can stay updated in regards to what's happening in the crypto space, as well as what's happening in the casual crypto investor community. And on that note, make sure that you do follow me on Twitter or on X. Sometimes it's easier for me to tweet than it is for me to make a video. So if you want to stay locked in, I've been making a lot of short form content. So hopefully you guys have been enjoying that. Give me a like if you like that type of content. I've just been covering a lot of the various cryptos and giving short descriptions of what those cryptocurrencies are and their utility and all that kind of stuff. So hopefully you've enjoying that short form content. You can watch it while you're on the go, and hopefully it's been beneficial for you. Okay, so let's get into it. So it says right here, pundit shares what Ripple's XRP value would be if it replaces Swift. And before I get into the article, I just typed in just Google, right? Ripple and Swift, right? That's all I did. There's various articles that have been written over the past day or so talking about is XRP moving up ahead of a possible Ripple Swift integration? Will Ripple take lead over Swift? Again, a lot of price predictions. Is XRP moving up ahead of a possible Swift integration? So there's just a lot of just articles being written about this. And so maybe there's something out there, or maybe there is a possibility of this happening. In my personal opinion, I don't necessarily, I feel like there's probably maybe about a 30% chance, maybe 20% chance of that even happening realistically. This is just my opinion now, guys. The reason why I say that is because Swift has been around for so long, and you don't knock a big player like that off its throne easily. Okay. What I do see most likely, which probably be a more so of a happy medium, is maybe Swift using Ripple's technology in order to alleviate, transaction, slowness, or to increase its speed of doing transactions at a more rapid pace. And then the other reason why I say that is because, you're talking about trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars that Swift moves. Okay. And so, with that, I just find it hard to believe that they would just hand that off to another organization so easily. I think it'd probably more so be more like a happy medium, like I mentioned earlier, that that Swift would most likely use Ripple's technology in order to, have a better service. All right, so let's get into this article. It says right here, as the global financial system evolves towards faster and more efficient payment solutions, XRP has emerged as a potential disruptor to SWIFT, the long-standing leader in cross-border transactions. Notably, the latest speculation of XRP's potential to take over SWIFT has reignited debate driven by bold claim from Digital IG, a former London-based fund manager and outspoken XRP advocate. He says that when XRP replaces SWIFT, it will be valued beyond 15,000 per token, he tweeted Saturday. He highlighted that XRP's design allows for such valuations as each token can be divided into 1 million smaller units known as drops. Moving on, it says, since its establishment in 1973, SWIFT has been the backbone of global finance, connecting over 11,000 financial institutions, guys, and over more than 200 companies. They are ginormous. Okay. Look at this. It processes 5 trillion transactions daily, $5 million worth of transactions daily, translating to an annual volume of approximately 1.25 quadrillion. However, Swift's reliance on a correspondent banking network often results in inefficiencies, delays, and high costs. Okay. So there's a couple of things that can happen, right? This could be something. Now, granted, Ripple has done an amazing job with integrating with banks and all that kind of stuff, and even growing during a lawsuit. Now, could this be something that, and again, going back to my previous statement saying that I more so see this as Ripple partnering with Swift, okay? And I feel like there's more of a possibility of them partnering and then gradually rolling this out, because you're not going to just flip the switch and take over 11,000 financial institutions, right? In over 200 countries. That's insane. I don't even think right now, in terms of an employment standpoint, that Ripple would have the bandwidth to take on that. Even if they, if, quote unquote, if a lot of people here are saying that they're just going to bum rush and take it over. Okay. I don't necessarily see that. I think what will happen is that you'll see most likely a partnership, because then that way Ripple could utilize the manpower that Swift already has, and they can come to some type of agreement of what they need, what they don't need. And based on the efficiency of Ripple's technology, they might not need as many, employees or resources to do what they used to do. So I could see either some type of partnership, maybe some type of merger where Swift uses Ripple's technology. Okay. Moving on, it says these limitations have led in financial institutions to explore alternative solutions, with Ripple and its native asset XRP emerging as a strong contender by providing real-time settlement using XRP as a bridge currency. Transactions on RippleNet are completed within seconds at a fraction of the cost associated with Swift's traditional multi-day process. That said, the idea of XRP replacing Swift has also been supported by various financial analysts, with some estimating that if Ripple were to handle 5 to 10% of Swift's annual transaction volume, its price and market capitalization would need to rise significantly. And I feel like that's more so of a realistic outcome of them maybe taking a small percentage and then scaling from there. Okay. Moving on, it says in October 2024, global investment bank, Houlihan Lokey identified Ripple as one of Swift's strongest competitors, citing it on its on-demand or ODL service as a key advantage. Additionally, in January 2025, Mark Yesko, CEO and CIO of the billion-dollar investment fund Morgan Creek Capital Management, expressed interest in supporting XRP in its replacement of Swift. So there's champions out there that are for this, but I don't know if it will be a automatic like, oh yeah, Ripple's just going to take over everything. No, I don't necessarily see that. Moving on here, it says that, however, despite its potential, several hurdles must be overcome for XRP to achieve such a valuation. Regulatory clarity remains a significant obstacle, particularly in the United States, where Ripple has been engaged in a lengthy legal battle, as we already know. Again, there's rumors, as I mentioned earlier, that the new SEC chair could potentially be dismissing the case or putting ending the case tomorrow. So we'll see about that. That's a rumor. Moving on here, it says that scalability is another critical factor. So it says Swift processes processes enormous transaction volumes daily. And for XRP to compete at this level, the XRP ledger must be capable of handling similar loads reliably. So again, I don't think they're just going to put on $1.25 quadrillion on the XRP ledger. Okay, that's something that you have to scale. There's a difference between having a glass of water versus sipping from the fire hose. Okay, all right. You don't want to try and take a drink from a fire hose. Okay, or from a fire hydrant, right? Okay, so you got to think about this realistically. Okay, I know a lot of people want XRP to go to $10,000 the next day, but I don't really realistically think that's going to happen. But over time, I can see that happening. Okay, moving on, it says, while, and kind of wrapping up here, while the XRPL already enables rapid settlement, further enhancements and liquidity management and infrastructure would be necessary to match Swift's scale. Again, that's exactly what I said, right? Moving on, it says Ripple's ODL service is actively addressing these challenges, but more work is required before XRP can fully replace Swift. And I agree with that 100%. This article, I think, was very well written, and that's kind of like, I guess, one of the reasons why I thought this article would be good is because that's kind of like how my mind is working with this, right? I think it could be something that Ripple can gradually scale to, but they're not just going to automatically just take over the Swift, payment system or Swift's business, in a matter of 24 hours. I don't think that's going to happen. Okay. But guys, let me know what you think about this. Do you think that Swift will bow down to Ripple, or do you think Ripple will just take over Swift, or do you see more so of a partnership? Let me know in the comment section down below. Guys, if you like this type of content, make sure that you like, comment, share, and subscribe so you can stay locked in on what's happening in the crypto space. I appreciate every single one of you. Thank you so much for the support. My channel has been definitely growing. I'm just an itty bitty channel right now, but I'm definitely trying to grow and trying to keep this thing going. So I appreciate every single one of you. I hope everyone has a great day, and I will see you later. Take care. Bye-bye.